I'm a managing partner with solutionXchg and have close to 18 years of consulting experience with various SAP modules and 11 years of experience with SAP archiving and imaging. Up front, a few administrative items. Our presentation today will take about 45 minutes. All participants are on mute during the full duration of the webinar. Please post any questions or concerns through the question function in your administration panel on the right side of your screen. If you cannot hear us or cannot see the presentation, please also alert us through this question panel. We will send out a transcript to those who are interested after the webinar. Please let us know through an email to info@solutionXchg.com. Let's dive right into the topic, and I will switch over to my co-presenter, Jochen Hager. Maybe, Jochen, you could introduce yourself.
Thank you, Kristen. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar on SAP Document and Data Archiving, Archive Migrations. My name is Jochen Hager. I'm a managing partner with solutionXchg, and together with Kristen, we have been in this market for over 18 years, working with clients all around the world, and for the last 15 years, predominantly in North America on SAP archiving scenarios. Today's topic is a background and a review, a project story about merging and consolidating SAP Archive Link compliant archives. We'll look into what motivates companies. We will look into the main drivers for an archive migration, as well as some of the technical aspects. And the highlight of the presentation will be a project review of one of our projects. We'll go in detail on the benefits and the challenges throughout the project and give you some first-hand advice on how to plan and how to go about an SAP archive migration. Let's move to the next slide. SAP archiving has been around for more than 20 years. In the early SAP days, SAP archiving was a simple storing of images attached to SAP business objects in just one or two application areas. It has increased and expanded over the years in many different ways. The interfaces have changed to SAP Archive Link has gone through many iterations. Some customers have started with SAP Archive Link solutions early on and have been using it ever since. We still encounter new customers that have not started SAP archiving in whatever flavor you were talking about. SAP archiving as a term covers data and document archiving. Data archiving applies to archiving transactional records. Document archiving applies to supportive information, scanned documents, images, Word documents, documents of all kinds and flavors that are attached to SAP objects. As I said, there's two customers. Those have been using SAP archive solutions for many years, and there's other greenfield customers who have not yet started using SAP archiving, whether that's data or document archiving. Those who do use the product usually have products that fall into two different categories. There is the traditional ECM solutions out there that offer a broad range of functionality in addition to their functionality, mostly for standalone functionality to become an enterprise content management repository and enterprise document backbone. They also have SAP connectivity. Some have been built around that SAP connectivity and expanded. Others have added SAP connectivity kind of as an add-on rather than as a predominant function of their solution kit. There's also another class of SAP archiving products, specifically also the SAP Content Server, that allow a quick start on SAP archiving. They don't have additional functionality for non-SAP documents, but they are specific, lightweight, quick start products that are geared towards just that one functionality, storing SAP data and archiving objects and documents. Um, the issue with specifically those customers who have an ECM solution in place, who might have installed the solution many years in the past, is that technology is never at the standstill. A system that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars 10 years ago can now be purchased for a fraction of the cost with much better features and less administration. We see many customers out there that do not take advantage of new development and new technology out in the market. Therefore, various full-fledged ECM solutions are often oversized for the actual needs they have built for and sized for, scoped out for a company-wide rollout of document management that in many cases never actually happened. And because it is such a involved architecture, a large system, a large client server architecture system that has been around for many years. In many cases, there is a don't touch a running system philosophy in place, and customers just don't want to change, and therefore they lose out on a lot of cost saving capabilities. Other products are not ready for large scale production. It's more on the lightweight side, where they're just not as scalable, just not as hardy to sustain an SAP rollout through all different document types. Maybe they've been put in place just for data archiving, or been put in place just for accounts payable imaging, but they don't have the production hardiness that is required to extend the product to many business application areas. So no matter in what category you fall, you should definitely take a good look at the functionality that is available today. There's a lot of different options. There's many archive vendors. There might be an advantage to move from a large scale ECM solution to a more dedicated, more focused archiving solution. In other cases, you want to upgrade maybe an SAP content server and get to a more robust solution. Either case requires that you move your data, from the legacy system that might have complex administration, might have large hardware support fees, might run a heavy database with database maintenance costs and license costs associated, and require, therefore, because it is a complex, involved system, a lot of maintenance for the existing solution. Now, uh, definitely it's worthwhile to review what you do with your system today. If it's one of the large ECM systems, you're only using it for SAP archiving, you should definitely look at other solutions that are available. Some customers have an issue that they have multiple systems that grew in multiple departments, grew up over time, or grew in the organization over time, and they want to consolidate. Not an uncommon problem that customers want to consolidate into just one solution with modern standards. And be that might be a large scale ECM solution if that's where the company standard goes. In other cases, we've also seen just the consolidation of various SAP Archive Link archives into one solution. What you need in order to make that step is a migration that is fast and almost risk-free. And once you have accomplished that and solved that challenge, you can realize significant savings, even repurpose hardware, and cut down on software maintenance and administration costs. Think about an eliminated database that doesn't require a backup anymore. Think about an eliminated archive server that doesn't require standby emergency failover hardware architecture, and so on. We would gladly help everyone analyzing their systems and recommending what the right solution for them would be. So that so much to just what is driving customers today, how customers envision their future with SAP archiving. I want to dive right into a project review and a migration we have done for a large Fortune 5,000 customer with international business operations. The task at hand is that due to cost saving measures and IT outsourcing to India, there was extreme cost pressure, and the company wanted to find out what they can do about their SAP archive. And this archive was a large enterprise content management system solution that was just used for SAP Archive Link compliant archiving. So we quickly identified a number of significant savings opportunities by bringing down the annual maintenance cost for the legacy software product. We were able to significantly bring down hardware cost, hardware maintenance costs, operations cost. We were quickly uh, able to eliminate some of the database cost, although not all in this particular case because of the chosen storage. But we were also able to reduce storage costs by introducing compression. The total cost of ownership for the solution for that particular SAP compliant archiving went down significantly. What did we accomplish in this project? We migrated 29 million documents in less than 8 weeks real time with close to zero business impact. The annual maintenance cost was cut in half, and we added a number of improvements to the system during the changeover. We added security for World Wide Web system access to it by introducing um, firewalls and safety measures that weren't in place and were identified during the project. And we switched from a physical hardware platform to a VMware architecture that allowed faster and easier backup and less costly hardware. We verified over 20 business application scenarios to work with the new archiving solution and adapted the scanning and viewing processes during the project. In detail, what we did for the migration, we validated all migrated documents against SAP to prove completeness. We reduced the required storage space with a new solution through compression during the migration. We organized the cutover as a big bang go live with a cutover weekend. There's variations to this. You can do it either as a cutover at the end, or you can do a soft switch with the introduction of a proxy server. And we changed hardware from HPUX on physical servers to Red Hat Unix on VMware. That reduced server maintenance cost and could eliminate an Oracle license with the right hardware architecture in use. We provided a full service migration project team. We brought to the table SAP skills, OpenText skills, archiving skills, KGS skills, and platform and database skills to help our client with all aspects of this highly diverse project. We chose KGS Migration for Archive Link as the software of choice to manage the migration. We believe it's the best available solution out there. It is specifically developed to satisfy SAP archiving requirements. It has a unique approach in the way it's constructed, it's set up. It's able to cope with the highest performance requirements. The underlying software and KGS package is our SAP Archive Link 6.4 certified, including load test, and the underlying the archive KGS archive system is also SAP Information Lifecycle Management certified. It's a best fit because the entire system was developed 100% in compliance with SAP standards. So what were some of the challenges in the project? We had a total migration volume of 29 million documents with 3 times the number of components. So a very, very large base of documents. The system was in place for over 15 years and had accumulated data over that time frame. We had a challenge with storage space. There was limited storage on the target devices, and we were doing an in-place migration to the same storage array. So we moved from one segment of the storage array to another one. Unfortunately, because of the migration or the outsourcing of IT knowledge and positions to India, there was limited administrative access to SAP, Oracle, and VMware servers, as well as external system access. That is something that provided an, a definite challenge to our work in the project. The complete project was done while the customer was conducting a business process outsourcing initiative, and as I said, was switching IT outsourcing providers on top of it. We had therefore limited access to project sponsors, and the project manager who was working with us closely went through 3 different line managers during project implementation. So on top of having a technical uh, challenging project at our hands, we also had a highly fluent work environment we had to cope with. But the migration went definitely fast, and with the tools we used, it was significantly risk reduced. The tool works as an in-between between SAP and the source archiving system, as well as the target archiving system. The source archiving system is your legacy system. It could be 1 or 2 legacy systems that are being eliminated. And the target system is your new system you want to establish. That could be a large enterprise content management solution if your company standardizes on just one solution, or it could be one of the modern lightweight content server solutions. KGS is offering the KGS content server for storage for exactly that purpose. So some of the lessons learned is that we plan on using the legacy archiving database to investigate different document types and build a better understanding of the data migrated. It's important, especially if you change viewing tools in the process, to understand what type of documents do you have stored in your archive to make sure that all viewing capability is seamlessly transitioned from your legacy system to your future system. That doesn't apply to all customers. We're working with customers that have all PDF documents stored, but typically archiving solutions that have been in place for 10 plus years, started out with TIFF, eventually added some documents like plain Word documents, Excel documents, or other document types, and then slowly consolidated or standardized on PDF documents. But that's important to understand. It's important to understand how you're going to view documents that are older and whether there is a need to make a format conversion during your migration. We, in the future, are going to use external databases to track and compare migration status between all systems, especially if you have multiple systems in place. You have to understand that the data is partially in SAP, it's partially in your legacy system or systems if you have multiple you're consolidating, and it is the resulting data is all in your new target system. So you have 4 major computer systems that in the end should all agree on what kind of data they have available. And to accomplish that, you can't just look at one database at a time. You need to have a consolidated view, and you need to be able to compare what each system thinks it's actually holding in terms of archive data. It is definitely necessary to have a full work environment, VPN access, maybe a dedicated PC, email, access to servers and databases to effectively do the work. And the customer has to be involved to do business testing and scenario testing ahead of time. It's very important that in order to have a smooth transition, the customer is able to verify the functionality of accessing archive documents in the current state as well as in the future state, and takes on that responsibility. But with the KGS migration for Archive Link, you can switch over with a click once the new archive server is in place. and that includes the server, the scanning, and the viewing capabilities. These three elements you need to investigate and verify that you have plans for how to solve and address those with the new archive system. With that, a seamless parallel operation of the legacy and new production archive is possible. The KGS Migration for Archive Link includes a proxy functionality that brokers requests between the legacy and the new production archive, and has the capability to switch over to the new archive early on in the project before you even start a migration, and then continue feeding documents from the legacy system into the new target system. There's a full rollback functionality in case of a significant error. So your legacy archive is not touched. Your legacy archive is not modified in any way. It is required for read access only, which gives a great safety net for your data. So in any case, during the migration and even after, until you have completely verified that all the data has migrated over correctly, your existing archive is your backup and your security net. There is format conversion and compression available if required during the migration process. And the migration itself, through the Migration for Archive Link cockpit, runs on autopilot with detailed error logging in accompanying temporary databases. A compliance log is continuously maintained, and therefore, at the end of the project, we can verify that all the data has been migrated correctly. This approach, because it does not change any SAP link table entries, and because SAP Archive Link is a standardized interface that allows the connection of different archive servers, the archiving sublayer to your SAP system can be exchanged almost without if any effect on your business application. So your customizing for your AP application remains the same. The customizing for your HR application remains the same. The customizing for your SD application, and so on, you get the point. All these SAP business scenario, business process customizing, uh, um, all that customizing stays in place. Of course, you're transitioning to a new scanning platform. So there's change maybe for the business or maybe for the mailroom. In the mailroom scenarios, you make a conscientious decision to move from one archive environment to another. And some of the vendors have proprietary scanning capabilities, have proprietary viewing capabilities that will change as you adopt a new platform. Some of the references we have, we did a large archive replacement for Armstrong, migrating over 28 million documents, 8 terabyte of data in less than 2 months real time on a VMware Linux installation. Procter & Gamble did a global archive replacement for 25 production SAP archive SAP instances and a migration of about 28 terabytes of data. Justin Brands did an archive replacement as well, and migrated data archiving files, and we built a custom interface to link and archive various Adobe forms in the process. And KGS has very many household names, and we're servicing these companies together with the KGS team in the US and worldwide. A few US names are Nalco, an Ecolab company. SAP itself is using it. BMW is using the KGS toolkit. HP is using KGS tools and has done migration projects as well as other KGS implementations. And then a good number of other well-known companies out there have adopted the KGS product line. KGS, the archive server, the content server, and its framework is certified by SAP and is certified for SAP Archive Link as well as BCILM in the most current releases. KGS software, KG is a safe choice. KGS has been around since 1996, and since 2005 has been SAP's worldwide solution partner for SAP Archive Link certifications. They have an excellent skill set in SAP document migration and have handled more than 30 SAP certifications for various archive server systems by multiple vendors in the US and in Europe. Clients all over the world, in the US, in Canada, Africa, Australia, the UK, Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, Finland, Spain, Italy, Switzerland, use the system, and solutionXchg, with our expertise, is your KGS partner in North America. Our goal is to present innovative German software products to the US market. And as I said, we're an exclusive KGS reseller for the migration product and the archiving solutions, KGS archiving solutions. We bring with us as a team strong SAP archiving and document management expertise, and we specialize in low cost, high quality, high value solutions by these select vendors. We have over 18 years of experience in the SAP implementation market, uh, general SAP module customizing, as well as imaging and archiving implementations. And we focus on products by XFT for business process management, KGS for archiving needs, Eternity for storage compliance requirements, and PBS software and TJC software for data archiving capabilities. We provide everything from business process analysis to SAP module customizing to project management and enterprise content management expertise. And in summary, what what is offered by the product at hand, by the KGS content server and the KGS migration for archive link tool. KGS software can run on VMware images, easy snapshot backup available, dynamic resource allocation available through through VMware functionality. All products are highly scalable with multiple instance capabilities installable on multiple servers in parallel. And specific advantages are interactive load balancing throughout the migration process, migrating in parallel to ongoing business operations, and little to no impact on SAP business process scenarios, while at the same time providing a high performance and highly productive migration process. And with that, I thank you very much for your attention. I hope this was of interest for you. Kristen and myself will be available for questions at any time. And Kristen, I hand this back over to you.
Hello. Thank you, Jochen. I just wanted to recap again on some of the features, because not just that KGS migration for Archive Link allows you to switch from one SAP content archive solution to another one, it also allows you with a new feature, to switch between content repositories. So, for example, if you've stored all your documents in a repository A1 and you want to move that to B1, this is now available as well. And again, the solution is totally vendor agnostic, so you can migrate from OpenText to SAP Content Server, from SAP Content Server to FileNet or Documentum. It is totally agnostic as far as which vendors you have in place, which vendors you want to switch to. We'll leave the questions panel open for a little bit. In order for our attendees to post questions, please use the question panel on the right side of your screen to post your questions. We have one current question, and that is, regarding the time when to cancel a maintenance agreement. Jochen, could you elaborate when a customer should consider switching to canceling their maintenance agreement during a migration project?
Mhm. Excellent question. We have seen customers holding on to their existing maintenance until the migration was complete. We've also worked with customers that, because of timing issues, wanted to cancel an existing legacy archive um, maintenance agreement early on and partially before the project even started, before the migration project started, to um, gain the additional cost savings. In many cases, depending on what archive server products you're looking at and which archive server products you're transitioning off, SolutionXchg has the expertise to maintain your system in a read-only mode as the migration goes on. We have experts in our extended team that have worked with many different archive systems over their professional careers and are more than well suited to maintain those systems in a running read-only mode as we do the migration. And that certainly gives you an advantage. We guarantee that these systems um, are operational for read-only processes through an add-on service and a continued maintenance service, which we offer as a company.
Thank you. Another question is regarding the difference between migrations that are running within SAP and a migration like our KGS migration for Archive Link, which runs outside of SAP. Could you please highlight again the differences and also the advantages of a migration outside of
Mhm.
SAP?
An outside SAP migration is characterized by the fact that the migration really does not impact your SAP system at all. It once the migration server is set up, the migration server talks directly to the legacy archive and to the target archive, and therefore almost shortcuts communication between those two archive servers. There is no impact on SAP. There is no business. There is no process running in SAP throughout the migration. So there's no performance degradation on your SAP system. There is no database or IO input that happens on the actual Exchange directories on the SAP application service, which are impacted if you move large amounts of database through those. Just think about the high I/O you have on those application systems and the performance degradation you will get. You would have to ensure that your SAP system can actually take the load of migrating a few million documents in a short period of time without creating any impact on performance. The other important aspect is that typically with migration products that run as an ABAP report, there is a change of SAP Archive Link ID in the system required because they use standard calls through the SAP Archive Link interface. Your doc ID changes, while the KGS product, through its outside SAP approach, a standalone approach, is able to maintain the actual SAP doc ID. And in many cases, we observed customers having using SAP Archive Link, but still the doc ID was as a link stored sometimes in outside databases, sometimes in Z tables, in custom SAP tables, and all these places need to be adjusted. Workflow items that are floating around and have an SAP doc ID embedded need to be changed or are rendered um, um, faulty once the document has been assigned a new document ID. So those two are the major scenarios. Plus, outside SAP, we have a full range of scalability. We can increase performance to the very limit of the legacy and the new target archive.
Okay, thank you. And we have one last question, and that is regarding retrievability. And Jochen, if you could clarify again that all documents during the migration process are retrievable from the legacy archive as if they have not migrated yet, or from the target archive once they've been migrated.
Absolutely. Because of that proxy, and I would love to bring that picture up. Let me see if I can find this picture quickly. Because of that KGS, cache migration server, that sits in the middle and has proxy functionality, any request from SAP is configured to go to the KGS migration server, and then the KGS migration server with its proxy functionality first probes the target system. If the document is already there because it has been stored there in the first place, or if the document has been successfully migrated, the target system will respond back with the appropriate document, which will then seamlessly be presented to SAP. The other scenario is that the document is not yet migrated, but still on the source archive system. And the source archive system then, as we said, is unmodified, holds all the legacy documents. So if the target system responds back and says, well, I don't have the document yet, the proxy automatically turns around and reads the document off the source or legacy archive system and serves it up to the viewer in the SAP environment. Again, completely transparent to the end user.
Okay, well, thank you very, very much. This concludes our presentation for today. We hope you found the topic of interest, and please feel free to contact us at any time if you have any additional questions, or if you would like to receive the transcript of the slides. Thank you again, and goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.